God is love. If somebody will embrace and live by truth, that is Jesus. If somebody will embrace and live by the light and the light of the soul, that is Jesus. So Jesus himself said, I am the way, which could be the religious one. But it's not just the way, it's the truth. So if anybody will embrace the truth, they have actually embraced Jesus. Even though they might not be coming from the religious angle. And the way, and the life. And life is love. So if anybody will embrace love and live a life of love, even though they might not be religious, they are actually embracing Jesus. That's what I mean. That the religion, without the religious Jesus, people can go to hell. But yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you responded to a similar question last time, more thoroughly, and we're trying to explain all the different things that Jesus is. And he's the way, the truth, and life, and that there are different paths to getting to Jesus.
Yes.
I mean, to God through Jesus.
Through Jesus.
Yes. So I think you should watch that previous episode as well. The last the last Ask Dr. Sunday show, because Dr. Sunday was speaking about this very thoroughly last time and explaining quite explicitly what is meant by Jesus being the way, the truth, and the life, and how one gets to God through either of these possibilities or definitions of Jesus. So I think we can go to the next question. And the next question is, how does one get to the right church? Is Dr. Kumuyi fake too?
No, I don't think Pastor Kumuyi is fake, but just has issues with his doctrines. I think Deeper Life had issues with the doctrine, and Pastor Kumuyi will be the first one to admit that. And I heard that there was a time that Pastor Kumuyi himself said he's going to pull down and is going to destroy and dismantle some of these doctrines. So so he admits and that he has issues and that he's still fighting to pull down those issues. So right now, they are still on the way. So how do you find a church that is true? Very simple. The church that is true, we emphasize personal relationship with God. Number two, the church that is true will not overemphasize the role of the pastor as the middleman between you and God. Three, the church that is true will not tell you that you cannot have your own vision and that you are only there in that church to accomplish the mission or the vision of the pastor. The church that is true will empower you rather to become all that God wants you to be. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. And I think that should be easily distinguishable, because if people don't put emphasis on God and your relationship with Him, and rather speak about everything you should not do, or the sins that will bring you to hell, or the things you have to do, like paying tithes and all these things, everything they get is just doctrines instead of a relationship with God. So if you go to a church where there is no emphasis on that type of relationship, a close and intimate relationship with God, then you know that it's probably not the right church to be in. Okay, so the next person is asking, do the sins of my parents prevent me from making heaven?
The sins of your parents don't prevent you from making heaven. What prevents you from making heaven is if you don't have personal relationship with Christ. The sin, not just the sin of your parents, even your own sins after you are born again. Because after you are born again and you have personal relationship with God, you still have sins. Even those sins cannot prevent you from going to heaven, apart from unforgiveness.
Okay. So again, your personal relationship with God is the most important. Okay, the next person is asking, with the expectation of the world becoming less dependent on oil and becoming more...
Again, you're slow.
Yes.
So that all of us, even me, I don't catch it up less.
Okay. So the question is, with the expectation of the world becoming less dependent on oil, becoming more dependent on other forms of energy, for example, batteries, solar power, electric cars, etc., how do we educate our people who are still behind in terms of power generation to change and prepare for what the world is bringing next? I think our people, he means with Africans and Nigerians.
You might need to help me rephrase that question if you understand it.
Okay, so the person is saying that there's less and less emphasis on oil, for example, as the energy that people use.
Oil and fossil energy in general.
Yeah.
There's going to be less emphasis on oil and fossil energy.
Yeah. And he's saying, he's giving examples for those type of energies that are going to emerge more and that we are going to put more emphasis on, like solar energy, solar energy, okay, and I don't know, wind energy and all these type of things. So how do we prepare Nigerians and Africans to adapt to those upcoming changes?
What do you mean?
So how do we prepare them so that they become progressive instead of, when it comes to innovation and how to bring progress in their own societies, to put emphasis on those emerging energy?
Because what I don't understand in this question is it talking about preparing Africans, our people, Nigerians, or governments?
No, I think he's talking about people, not the government. But is there...
Because if it is the people that we need to prepare, the people don't provide the energy. The people just consume the energy. So what I would think is a concern is for the African countries to move fast enough to introduce these alternative energies so that they don't get left behind.
Okay.
And so that the government of Nigeria, for example, that is producing fossil and oil energy, so that they will also be ready to be less dependent on oil and begin to adapt and invent other forms of energy, so that when they keep on depending on oil and nobody is buying the oil, the country will not come to bankruptcy. That is where I see this kind of question making sense.
Okay.
But for the people don't care what is the source of energy. They just want to have electricity in their homes. If somebody is in his house, he just wants to put on the switch. The only thing they know is the switch. They don't care where it comes from. It is the company, the providers, that know where it comes from. We have hydroelectricity and all that kind of electricity that people don't even know which one, where is it coming from. People don't care where it's coming from. I don't know if...
Yeah, I understand that. I can also imagine that this person was specifically referring to the books that you're writing, especially because you're empowering people to be very innovative and to not wait on the government and to have, use the resources that they have to bring forth something based on the environments and everything. So I was thinking that he would go into that direction to say, you know what, instead of waiting for the government, maybe you try to do something that you can present even to the government if you have an idea or an innovation, so that you can have...
I or any individual, you mean?
Yes. So that you can have...
Yes, I or any individual?
Any individual. So that we can help make... we can help encourage the government, but also everybody else, like through campaigns and all these things that you were suggesting, to bring change in a country or in a continent.
Well, if you go to my page, my Facebook page, you will see this picture, this article. Hello? You see this article. So what is this? And what is this? Okay. Just make it bigger, 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 bigger. So what is this?
Machine.
Now what is this?
Can't really see it.
Yes, this is a machine. You're right, it's a machine. These are machines. But now I'm going to tell you what they do. This is a machine that converts waste into energy. And this, this will convert garbage, waste into electricity and other forms of energy. And this was made by a Nigerian from the Laboratory of Creative E-Machines, Nigeria. So new design. So for this, for $4,000, every family could produce their own electricity. And this is produced in Nigeria. So this $4,000 will make you to, it's all your garbage, instead of you taking it out, you just be putting them in and it will turn into electricity for you.
Wow.
Or to petrol. It's called Mbangwe C12. Mbangwe C12. Anybody who is interested in this could go to my Facebook page, the personal page. Let me see if I can share it to the public page now.
It would be interesting to know how much garbage has to be used for that.
Yes, how much garbage has to be used for that, right? I've not shared it on my public. I think maybe I will get somebody to share it on my public page. But it's just on my private page right now. It was shared yesterday, 12 hours ago. I shared it 12 hours ago from Caro Kanye Akamune's Facebook page. So, yeah. So, Nigerians are actually, innovative, and they are, there are a number of innovations like this. This is not the only one, but this is just the one I shared yesterday. There are a lot of innovations like this that are coming out of Nigeria, but because they don't have the
exposure,
and the sponsorship, and they don't have the industry already, like General Motors and things like that, so they don't want to sell it out to the West, so that they don't get lost, and then Nigeria will still remain in darkness. They just want to produce a result for the country. So, and I know at least 3 to 5 people who have different kind of machines to do alternative energy. I know one like that too, that converts water into electricity.
Wow. So there's some up and coming things.
Yeah, innovators from Nigeria, yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. So I'm definitely excited to see those results, and I am sure the person who asked that question is too. We'll try to post the article soon on the groups and on the pages, so that you can all read it and maybe even support the person and see how far we can bring this in Nigeria and Africa. Okay, so the next person is asking, hello DSA, is it a sin to apply bleaching cream and makeup on our skin or body?
To apply what?
Bleaching cream.
Bleaching.
So
not beauty cream.
No,
bleaching.
To change the skin color, to make it lighter, brighter. So is it a sin, or is it biblical? So, and also she's talking about makeup. So first of all, is it a sin, or is it biblical to apply bleaching cream on your face or on your body? And the same goes for makeup.
No, in that case, I have sinners all around me here. One of them is the one you are listening to right now. Because I think that she was not born with this kind of thing. I don't think so. That is makeup right there, isn't it? So that might have answered that question. But concerning the bleaching, I think it's a personal question.
Okay.
I don't think it's a biblical question. I don't think Christians, pastors should meddle into what people do with their body. I think it's more of a medical question or of a pharmaceutical question. So I think, people who want to know should they bleach or not should rather ask their not their pastors, but their doctors and their beauticians and cosmetologists, so that they will tell them if that is safe for their body or not, for their health. The only concern I might have about it, not because I'm a pastor, the only concern I will have about it will be because of the health hazards that it could attract. So, but pastors shouldn't have putting their nose in anybody's life business. Personal lives with what people do with their body, sense of cream, what cream people will use. So pastors should be recommending creams to people. No, I don't think it's not pastor's job.
Yeah, I think the person here is also referring to if it is biblical to change your appearance, because bleaching is basically changing something permanently.
I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it like that. I look at it as improving what you got, what God gave you. The same thing like cosmetics do. So you did cosmetics now. Probably if you are without cosmetics, maybe you look more pale or dull, but the cosmetics could, awaken, quicken, and make alive, put finishing touch. Like me now, even me right now, the one where they sit here, I have a question for somebody. I'm actually thinking of getting to ask some of my members in the church if they have some skin treatment for me, because I'm getting old. What I discovered with my old age is that I used to shave, and when I shave, I never used to have any trace of blackness or the skin color change when I was younger, because it was not visible. But now, as I'm getting close, you will notice that my face, and especially my chin area, is not quite as smooth as your own, if you have noticed.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I think that is a problem. So even me, I will not I would not mind finding somebody to recommend for me, because people say aftershave. Women have what they call aftershave, but the aftershave doesn't remove the
darker skin.
The changing toning of the skin. So I would like to have something. I would appreciate anything that will help me remove all those. Because right now I have about 3, 4, 5 colors in this my face. This face alone, the one you are seeing here, if you come closer, you might be in trouble. It's a little bit of catastrophe right here, but because people are used to me, so it might not bother them. But if you are seeing it on the first time, you might not want to bring your child close. So instead of that, I would rather at least make it more palatable. So that at least a human being might be able to, they will not feel any irritation when they are looking at the man.
Okay. And then again, it's a good example actually to say that this is the personal preference, because not everybody is doing that. And some people are saying it's fine, some people are saying I don't like it, some people...
What particular thing?
Your example, for instance, that you
some
have
people
different...
say it's fine?
Yeah, some people don't mind it. I know my father has also used to shave and everything, and he also had like the darker skin around the chin area, but he just leaves it like that, and it doesn't look bad. It's just...
I don't think he likes it. I think he doesn't just take it serious.
Yeah, just like some people don't take serious to put makeup on their faces, or I don't know, use bleaching cream or something like that. So, and I can see that, yes, it is definitely a personal preference, and that it doesn't have anything to do with biblical or not.
Well, I'm just going to use the opportunity to ask anybody down there if there is any beautician or cosmetologist or whatever there that knows anything that could be used to smoothen out these colors all over my face. Me, I prefer to have it.
Okay. So if you know anybody.
So I'm not like your dad in that sense. We have different tastes.
Yes. Yes. That's true. Yeah, so if you know anybody and you are watching, let us know.
To recommend?
Yeah. Let us know. You can actually always message Dr. Sunday directly. Like you can just send him an email at pastor@godembassy. If you're a beautician or you know someone, you can help. Pastor
or Facebook Messenger.
Or Facebook Messenger, exactly. Sunday Adelaja, or even to the page, to the official Facebook page. You can also send an email, a message, and recommend what or who you think would be suitable to properly consult.
When I was working for the TV station, and when they would invite me to go and do TV shows, they used to cream me up.
Yes, yes, they do that.
Yeah. So sometimes you might think that I have green. Is it green you call it?
Green?
They call it in Ukraine, the Russian language, it says green. Green is the thing they use to powder up.
Yeah.
Powder up the people before the show.
Yes.
So when you see me on TV sometimes, official, you might think I was just born.
Yes. That's true.
But the problem with that is that when I want to remove my shirt, it touches the face sometimes.
Oh. Yeah.
So we have all kind of plasters, all everywhere. You have to go and wash immediately. So it's removed, it's going off.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know for the ladies how they are coping, because if I need to do that thing every day, I think I might just have given up for some time.
Yeah, I think people are just wired. Some people are just wired to do it. Even amongst ladies, they are not.
Some people give up.
I'm someone who I don't like to put makeup on every day. I think it's too exhausting, and I try to therefore just keep my face very clean, so I don't have to use anything, so that I'm still satisfied with my own skin. At least for me, yeah. I'm not saying that other people are not satisfied, but I'm just saying for me, just the hassle is too much. But obviously, you still have to present yourself, and you want to look good and just feel comfortable. So there are ways to do it. Sometimes they have creams only, sometimes just a little powder.
One of the problems that I had when I used to appear on TV and they put things on my face, I always forget. So I just do like this all the time.
Yeah.
I do like this all the time. Then then I mess up the shirt, the clothes, everything. So I then wonder, what is holding off the hands of the ladies? Don't you feel some scratches on your, or somewhere you want to scratch sometimes? Because it happens to me. So I don't know why that doesn't happen to women. Because if it happens, why is it that you don't just rub everything all over your body like a child? Because that's what I would have done.
No. It's training in itself. You have to train.
Not to react to the
even
itching feeling.
Yeah, sometimes I had to force myself either too, because I'm someone, I just like to touch my face if I have to. But I also realize that. So either you use your nails and you maybe do just something like this, or you take a tissue with your finger, or you just endure it.
Well, nobody gave me that master class. I didn't take that class. So I was just messing up everywhere. Especially my clothes suffer for those things.
Yeah. The sacrifices you do for beauty, it's just the way it is. Ah, that's interesting. Okay. So the next person is asking, DSA, are you saying vacation is not a good thing? Please explain. Because that is the only time. Because that is the only time I can actually rest all year round.
You explain that question to me and the philosophy behind it.
Yeah.
I guess you have an idea.
Yes, I do. So this person, I think she was, or he is referring to something you were talking recently about vacation. I think it was even during the Dear Dr. Sunday show.
Because I have a book that says that labor is better than
favor.
Yes.
And vacation.
No.
You were saying that vacation
work
is better than vacation,
yes,
and labor better than favor. So the person is saying, are you saying that vacation is not a good thing? Because vacation is something that many people just have very seldom throughout the year. So once they have vacation...
Well, there is the book here. I think it was show it. So the book is called Work is Better Than Vacation.
Yeah.
And labor better than favor. So now that question would make sense.
Yes. But also, because we were asking you specifically if you like to watch soccer and all these different things where people will say this is what they use to rest. And then we went over to also discuss vacation and saying that this is also something you would not do or you don't do very often. And so the person was thinking that vacation in itself is not a good thing. So wants to know, is it something that you're thinking is a waste of time?
If I am to address this question, then I have to make I have to separate or make a difference, or what do you call it? That's a word I'm looking for. Distinguish between my own understanding of vacation and everybody's understanding of vacation.
Yeah.
In my own mind and in my own understanding of vacation, vacation is a good thing.
Okay.
But the everyday understanding of vacation that I see people have, that's a bad thing.
Okay. So I think you will have to expand on that.
Maybe people tell us what is not clear.
Yeah, because when it shows that you have a different understanding of vacation. So we're using the same word, but different interpretations or meanings. So what is your interpretation of vacation then?
You want to know mine, not their own?
No, I think it's very clear what their own is. Their own is like, you work...
Okay, maybe you should first of all tell me what their own is.
Okay. Yes, so the normal or the usual vacation, type of vacation, is...
Everybody's understanding of vacation.
Yes, everybody's understanding is...
Which is the vacation I'm using, the understanding I'm using here in this book.
Okay. Is, we go to work 5 days a week normally, and then we have 2 days off, which is the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And sometimes we have vacation, which means we don't go to work during those 5 days. And these oftentimes are 2 weeks in maybe 6 months, sometimes 4 months. But usually it's not that long. And this is the time where you don't go to work and you have the weekend at your disposal. And you go to do something completely, well, you just go to rest. You go to have vacation, you travel, you enjoy life, you go to have some time at the beach where you have sun baths, you go to some theme parks, you spend time with your family abroad, you have massages, you just have someone who takes care of you, and for you to have a way to release stress and to forget about work. So this is something that people think is important, just to revitalize as well, and then to go back to work and continue the usual schedule.
Yes, you are right. That is the one I don't want.
Okay.
That's the one I said is bad.
Okay.
So what's your question now?
So what is your understanding of vacation then?
Okay. My own understanding of vacation is a time that you take off from your everyday routine, from your work, from the thing you do normally. And you take the time off and go, either it's the same 2 weeks or 1 week or that many days, but the way you use it is what is different in my own understanding. In my own understanding, vacation is a time when I could relax and can get off from what I'm doing normally to be able to do what is most important for me in life, what I am more to increase the volume of what I normally do, to be able to bring more fruit, to be more productive. So vacation time for me is a time of productivity that doubles or triples the normal time. So for example, if I have to go on vacation with my family right now, it means we go away from maybe our base here in Ukraine, we go away from the church, but it will be a time where I fast a little bit, where I rest, where I'm able to produce more than I'm producing in the church, where I write more books, where I read more books, where I work on my health, where I rejuvenate and exercise, I make myself better. So it's a time where I make myself better and more productive, where I strengthen every area of my life.
Okay.
So it's totally different from what I see people doing in vacation. Because, for example, I had a pastor who came over through Ukraine, advocating somewhere here, and then he stopped over, and I said, "Oh, maybe you preach for us." He said, "No, I cannot preach." I said, "Why?" He said, "I'm coming from vacation." I said, "So what's the problem?" He said, "No, I'm not just in the, I'm not prepared. I'm not spiritual. I'm not. I cannot do. I've been vacating." I said, "So what does that mean?" So that's the kind of vacation that he's a pastor, but he is vacating like every other person. But I don't. When I go on vacation, even when I go to a place like Canarian Island, the same place, but what I see there is Sodom and Gomorrah. It's not vacation. It's people becoming animals. People who are normal every day in Germany or in Iceland. When you get there, you see them like they are animals. They lose control. They are not more they become like animals. They become biomasses. They allow their instincts to take control of them. Whereas my own understanding of vacation is totally different. When we went there with my wife, it was a time for me to go out twice a day for a stroll, for a walk, in the morning and in the evening with my wife. But the whole day I'm writing, reading, sleeping, writing, reading, sleeping, writing, reading, sleeping, and really be able to do a lot of things.
So I'm just thinking about a person, for example, who's watching you and who may not be like the typical German, for example, who works like a robot most of the year and then they just go to release and party and drink and all these things. So this person will probably not go and do this, but will still go and maybe read a book on the beach and relax and everything. Would that still be?
Yeah, that's what I do that too.
Okay.
I lie down on the beach reading books. Yes.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. I reading doesn't have to be in the room. It could be outside.
Okay. So it's about the intentional.
Being able, vacation for me is setting yourself free from your normal routine regime of things that you are doing, where people could distract you. Because you need to work, they are calling you, or you need to calls, where you can escape from all that distraction. No telephone calls, no work, no regime of anybody controlling your regime or work controlling your regime, the normal work. But where you could still have that time of 2 weeks to be the owner of your life in that 2 weeks. And being the owner of your life means putting at the priority of your life those 2 weeks, the most important things for you in life that you didn't have enough time to do before.
Okay.
Now you have time enough to do it in a way that it will glorify God, it will multiply your capacity, it will increase you, and it will make you to be able to produce better, to be able to do more, to be able to increase, to be able to come back with more results. So, for example, vacation for me is a time where I'm able to come back from vacation with 2 times the result of what I couldn't do for the whole year.
Because even
not a life of going to, not a time of going to shield.
Yeah.
Because what I see people doing is that they go and shield. What does that mean? That they are just off.
Yeah.
They put off their brain.
Yeah.
That's what I say is bad.
Okay.
That's the time to put on your brain now, not according to the way it was just by automatic Uncle Sam, controlled by Uncle Sam. But now you are the one in charge to now use that opportunity to do solitude, for example, to use that time to read more, to use that time to strengthen your health, to restore your health, to read that time to, project into your future and come out with some things, to produce things that you won't have had time to produce. To use that time, for example, to finish series of teachings, series of books you needed to read, to make yourself a better person. That's what, not chilling, not going to just walk around and just doing nothing with your life.
Okay. I see. So vacation is not something bad in itself, depending on your interpretation of it, or at least for Dr. Sunday's interpretation of it, because the question was addressed to him. So I guess that was very thorough and also very visually well explained. So I think the person knows what you mean now.
So what comes out of that?
Well, what comes out of that is, I guess, the person has to choose.
That is Pastor Sunday's lifestyle.
Well, I think it makes sense. I think everyone has to first of all look at their own lives and see, how am I actually living my life, and what type of vacation would be appropriate for me? How can I use my vacation time to be that focused person and add value to myself? So we have to know, first of all, what is our own goals? What are our visions? Because oftentimes we just go to vacation to forget everything, to just not even think about goals or whatever, to just relax, just put everything off.
Well, that is what is bad.
Yeah. So that's
becoming animal. Not just drinking is animal. You become an animal when you put off your brain.
Yeah. So,
the instincts take over.
Yeah. So,
and anybody that is being ruled by instinct is an animal. Men are not created to be ruled by instinct.
Yeah, I think we have to just reassess the way we do vacation and what vacation means to us, and in regards to also understanding the use of time and where we want to be after going to vacation, especially because we use vacation to escape what we're generally doing. So maybe we should use vacation to not just escape because we will go back, but we should maybe plan to get out permanently, like working to get out of Uncle Sam. So we don't need to seek vacation as a relief system anymore.
Yeah, because the reason why I could think like this is because I'm not running away from any Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I'm already doing, only I have some distractions in between. So I just get rid of those distractions to be more productive. That's all. But people who have sold their lives to Uncle Sam, they are slaves all through the year. And since they are slaves, they don't belong to themselves. They have been in captivity. It's like a wild animal that is released from the cage. So they want to just go wild. That is the animal. Animalism. That is the world system. That is what the world system has defined for people. Because the world system has put them in a cage that is called Uncle Sam, or that is called working for survival, working for money. So they have been slaves of money all year long. So vacation for them is the only time they have for themselves in the year. That is horrific, horrible lifestyle. That is, a lifestyle that no human being should go in. But the whole system of the world, that's the way it's set up. That nobody is complaining anymore because everybody is living like that. But no human being should be put to that demeaning situation whereby they have to run from their life to escape on weekends or
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. I don't know if
that's why I wrote that book, Uncle Sam. Let's have the book, What's Up with Uncle Sam. So when I say work is better than vacation in this book, what I'm talking about is that when you are working for your vision, when you are not job, this is not job is better than vacation, but work. And for me, work is defined as what you do to accomplish your purpose, what you do living in your promised land, what you do on your own promised land, in your own territory, giving glory to God and fulfilling your calling. That is better than vacation. So when you go to a vacation, you will even double and increase the work rate.
That would make sense,
Yes.
Because vacation won't be an escape route anymore.
No, it's a time to redouble.
Yes.
And refine.
Yes.
Yes. But if you have been under the captivity of Uncle Sam, that's why I wrote this book, Stop Working for Uncle Sam. Mm-hmm. You first of all need to learn the tricks and the wisdom to get yourself free from Uncle Sam and become human again and become the owner of your life again. Then work will be better than vacation for you.
Yeah. So get those books. Maybe the person who asked the question, these will help you to start with Stop Working for Uncle Sam first, and then move on to Work is Better than Vacation and Labor Better than Savor. You can get the books on Amazon. You can also get them on okadabooks.com, and you can also get them through contacting us at dsasbooks@gmail.com, and we can give you also the information of Chioma if she hasn't put her details in the comment section below if you're in Nigeria, and you can get them from her there if you are in Nigeria. So email us at dsasbooks@gmail.com. Okay, the next person is asking, DSA, is God a dictator? Isn't it true that he created us without our consent? Who told him to create us? And creating us in this fragile body, prone to diseases, without any spare parts. Even cars have readily available parts. That isn't fair, is it? Please, I need your perspective on this.
God didn't create you. God created only two people, Adam and Eve. If your father and mother had not slept with each other, you would not be here, my brother. So you ask them, why did they bring you here? Then to say God is a dictator, everything proves the opposite. God is not a dictator because the fact that we all take our decisions on a daily basis, God has given us the power to take decisions. And God has given us the power of free will. That is exactly the proof that God is not a dictator.
So what about a person, let's say the person asking this is a product of a woman who was raped, for example, or an accident, that people say, when they say, oh, we didn't plan to have a child, and all of a sudden. So how is that for these people? Because they didn't plan to have these children.
Okay. God only did one thing. God gave everybody the possibility. He only provided for women the possibility to have and not to have. Now, it would have been wicked if God only created a woman without the possibilities, or some with possibility, and then some without the possibility. Then that would mean that he's a dictator. So half of the women don't have wombs, and half of the women have wombs. So we could say, yes, it's a dictator because he decided for them. But that way, no. He made it possible for everybody. So you need to guide. If you are raped, where did you walk? At what time? Were you alone? Why did you put yourself in that situation? Or what happened that happened? You know, a lot of other factors. Or where your father? Or where is your friend? Or where your husband? What happened? What? And the society. What is the society doing? So it's not God. God is in heaven. And he's here too, but he's not in charge of your daily. That's because he's not a dictator. So, and the people who say they don't plan it, if you're husband and wife, excuse me. If you don't plan it well so that you don't. I don't plan children, I don't have children. So if somebody didn't plan it well and is having children by mistake, and want to put the blame on God, excuse me. You just like say you didn't go to classes and you failed the exam and you say, well, God didn't make me pass. Hey, okay. Of course, if you don't want to have anything, you don't have anything. You don't have it. It's you just perfect your plans. Have backup plans. have things in place so that you decide. God is not deciding for you. You decide.
Interesting perspective. The person was looking for your perspective, so they got your perspective. But the person is also asking, God created us in this fragile body, prone to diseases, and without spare parts. So we can't just change our arms or heads.
You know, it is always easier for us to throw the blame, especially on someone who is not here to talk for himself. We are always looking for somebody to blame. How can you say God created us in a fragile body? He did it. He created us in a perfect body that didn't need spare parts. So that's why when God created man, he said it was good after he looked at him. So God created everything perfect. But what now made us to become fragile is the fact that humanity or man fell into the deception of Satan. We became sinful. And sin is what introduced the vulnerability to human body. Man didn't have that limitation before. It is only as a result of sin that weaknesses, sicknesses were introduced. That is why in heaven there will be no sickness. And there will be no pain. Because then we'll be restored to a situation whereby our body, an environment where it doesn't have sin. And it will return back to the original state it was supposed to be. It's not God's fault, my brother. It is still man's fault or Satan's fault, but not God's fault. Yes.
So this is a very interesting topic. I really like this one because
keep it coming.
I think there are also people who are maybe thinking about accidents.
Yes.
So, for example, if there's a car accident,
yes.
Usually a car, you can just take another part or the same material, maybe adjust it a little bit, place it back, and then the thing is back to new. So with a human being, you would have to, if it's an organ, maybe you can get it from somebody else who can donate if it's possible, or you will have to get an amputation, which is not the same thing. So again, this would be the person maybe saying, our bodies are fragile and we can't even replace it with something. So I'm wondering, is this also maybe part of progress and development? Because if we look at even cars or clothes, the way they were fixed in the past was just to patch something on the hole in your trousers or something. Nowadays, you can make it even smoother in a way that you won't necessarily see the difference and see that something has been made. So maybe it's the same with the human body, that thanks to progress and technology, that it's not going to be as visible anymore, or we're going to get closer and closer to replacing body parts to almost the original way they were.
So when this body, you said, is without spare parts, like the cars. You know, like I said, when the cars are being created, the creators of the cars know that they didn't create a perfect substance. They didn't create a perfect matter. They didn't create a perfect object or product. So they already knew it was going to fail. And they already knew that things, it's not perfect. So they have all that backup.
Okay.
But God is not working like that. God is working from the position of perfection. Now, when I'm sick or you are sick or we needed an operation, who does the operation? Who treats a man?
Another human.
Another human. Why? Why is it there is another human who treats your cold? And now it's God who has to give the spare part. It doesn't have to be God, because it is human's responsibility to fall. The fall falls on the human's shoulder. The fall is human's fault. And it is human that it will take to develop cure for the consequences of it. So if it is human that will treat your cold, it is also human that must advance and progress enough to learn how to treat any kind of deformity that comes to the mind.
Wow. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, if we go back to have the holistical view and not just go by the situation, and you understand
it is always safer for you to have a holistic view.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I guess the person got the response here. Always go back to who's responsible for what and why. So I guess that will help to get to the root of the question, or the answer actually. Okay, so the next question is, DSA, boxing is a very violent sport. Is that not psychopathic? The question was asked based on DSA's mentioning of him liking boxing during the Dear DSA show.
Yeah, I'm not engaged in boxing. I'm not going to do boxing. So if it's psychopathic, that will relate to people who are involved in it. I personally, if you want to hear my own opinion, I personally think that sometime in future, the future generation will raise the question of banning boxing, and I think they must raise it. And maybe I myself will be one of the ones to raise it before I die. Because
even though you're watching
I like it.
Yes.
I like it, but still, when it comes from the moral, consensus point of view, even though I like it, but I like it because I'm watching it for entertainment. And what does entertainment do for you? It raises your adrenaline.
Yeah.
So it is for the adrenaline that I am doing it, but that I'm watching it. But and because it's not so long like football. That's another thing I like. So it's shorter for me.
Yeah.
So and I like the strategy. It involves strategy. It involves endurance. So I like the virtues of endurance, of strategy, of escape, of planning, of strategy. Those are the things I like about it. Not the violence, but because of the violence part of it, that is why I think that just like the what do you call this thing in Rome? Is it Colosseum? You call it Colosseum. They used to have the games.
Yeah. The
gladiator games, yeah. So those, just like the gladiator games, needed to be stopped and cancelled by subsequent generation.
Yeah.
So I think that eventually this boxing as a sport it will be challenged by the subsequent generation to come. Even if this generation doesn't raise the topic, the next generation of people will see it as violent and inappropriate. I think it is not supposed to be as an entertainment, and it is too violent in that sense. So I agree, but watching it, I don't think qualifies everybody as a psychopath. I think even engaging in it, if it's like a sport, it might not even qualify somebody to be a psychopath as well, because most of the times, when they are doing it as they have rules to it.
Yeah.
They don't. Most of the boxers, they are not allowed to box outside, to fight outside. And it's not just boxing. All these combative sports like karate, taekwondo, all those things. I think, some of them might need to be reviewed or banned because it inflicts pain on people. Just for that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it qualifies for psychopathic. Because if it's psychopathic, then they'll be doing it outside the ring as well, where there are no rules.
Yeah, this would be quite on an individual basis as well. Okay. Thank you for that answer. The next person is saying, what's your take on Christianity?
If you understand the question, maybe you will help me and help him.
I I just understand what's written there. I don't know. It's quite plain. Just what's your take on Christianity? I think the person may refer to Christianity as a religion and just seeing it as a religion itself, and is it the right one, or that's what I would think.
Well, I think when I get the clarification, I'll be ready to answer.
Yeah, maybe the question can be a bit more specific. You can ask the question again, send it either to pastor@sunday@rajablog.com, pastor@sunday@rajablog.com, or you can also just
books ever. Yeah. Not looking at the grammatical or translation mistakes, because there are a lot of typographical and grammatical mistakes because it was translated from Russian language. But otherwise, the content is one of the best books ever. Okay? Another of my best books ever.
The Danger of Monoculturalism.
Yeah, it's one of my best books too.
Yeah.
I think you read this one.
Yeah, very unique book. I really liked it. I think it's also one of my favorite books. It's also about diversity, and also more specifically where stereotypes come from and what impact they can have on a person, on a group of people, on a society, on the whole world, and on the development of the world history.
Beautiful book.
Really, really good book. I think it's so... It opens your mind.
Yeah, your mind becomes like expanded.
Yes, and you feel like hugging everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
Even the evil people.
These two books are about love.
Yes,
they help you to cope with love.
Yeah.
To handle love. They help you to love easy.
Or at least understand if you're...
No, you won't feel like hugging everybody. That's easy.
Yeah.
You just begin to almost love automatically.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about Hitler and the Germans and everything. Of course, you don't want to go and just hug Hitler, but at least you start to understand where it comes from. Yeah. And then?
This one is one of my most important books.
A visionless life is a meaningless life.
A visionless life is a meaningless life. I need somebody to come and do this one too, because this is a very important book to me.
We have someone coming.
Very important book. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see somebody do that.
Yeah. How Africans brought civilization to Europe. Yeah, I think that's a must-read for just any black-skinned person, really, at least.
People need to know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Did you have anybody do it? The review?
I have to check. I'm not sure. I think I have someone, but I have to double check.
Okay.
And then, I am a person. Am I a personality? Yeah.
Challenging book.
Also, yeah, challenging. I can imagine that. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's all for today.
Yes. So, thank you all for joining us again, and we'll be back in 2 weeks and then fortnightly. So, leave your questions in the, send us your questions to pastor@sunday@thelargerblog.com if we haven't asked them for you here, and we will make sure to ask them. So, join us again. We'll announce it again as well next time. Sorry that we didn't do it this time, but you can also watch the replay and share it with other people who are not here today. Maybe their question was answered if you know, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Bye-bye.